All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, 1/11, the triple one. Starting a little bit late today. I moved our streaming service over to StreamYard. Was unable to go live on X, and I had a couple of other challenges, so I went ahead and switched over. So here we are. Hopefully this is coming through on X. Yeah, it's coming through on X, and I believe I should be able to see the comments. If you all have questions and comments over on X, I should be able to have access to that as well. So this is the Beginner Live Lab. So for 30 minutes every day, Monday through Friday, we go ahead and we ask questions. We help people with questions, and this is for like the basics. Our paid members have priority. So if you're an Algo Factory member, then you would have the first priority to questions. Let's just say 10 questions came through, 5 were paid members. Of course, their questions get answered first, right? So right now the market is moving because I don't know if CPI came out already. We're going to take a look at that. That's the big news today. Top right-hand corner of the screen, you can see the QR code. If you want to zap that, you're welcome to come check out our website. We'll talk more about what we do a little bit later in the show. So let's see here. I'm trying to see if I can get the link. Yeah, here's a link right here. Shareable link. All right, I'm going to throw the link up in a couple of spots. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to look at the charts. We're going to see how the data is affecting price. Because I can tell you right now, I'm guessing it's pushing price down. Down. Big day yesterday, by the way. We had ETF was approved. So, of course, you got a lot of people already very interested in going to, going to speculate on price based on whenever the ETF comes out. So I did a video and I put it out on the channel. If you want to know what an ETF is, go ahead and check that out because I explain what an ETF is very basically and how the ETF approval might be affecting the price of Bitcoin, right? And why the price gets affected by such a thing and the logic behind it. And, some of the past examples of other ETFs, namely gold, that might be something we can look at as a model for how things might turn out with crypto. I could tell you that over time, this should be bullish for Bitcoin. And what I mean by that, of course, is over time, the ETF should be an indication that price will go up for Bitcoin. For gold, the ETF pushed the price up. Oh gosh, within a few years, it went up about times 4 if memory serves. So let's go ahead and open up the charts. In the background, I'm gonna get the charts zoomed in and ready. Because I moved over to StreamYard, I kind of got started a little bit later than usual. So apologies for that, everybody. I don't like to be late. You'll notice I usually start right on time, but not today. Let's see how this goes with the screen. Here we are. All right, let me get rid of this QR code for now. See if I can move that out of the way. Okay, so let me expand this. And let's make this all easier to see. Very good. All right, so this is the euro to the dollar on the 30-minute chart. Let's take a look at Bitcoin because I think that really should be what we look at first today based on the ETF4's news. Okay, so remember just a couple of days ago, we had the ETF fake news, right? And this happened right here, 9th of January. Give me 1 second. Gotta answer a message. Okay, sorry about that. And so what happened was and again, we covered this. A lot of people covered this. If you don't know what I'm about to talk about, you're not really following crypto. This is like big news. So hold on, we got to add the gorilla to the stage. We're going to talk about what happened a little bit a couple days ago, but we got the gorilla in the house. You want to say what's up, brother?
What's up, people? What's up? What we've been talking about for years has finally happened.
So, yeah, I missed that last bit because I was flipping from speaker to headphone there.
No, I said what we've been talking about for the last few years has finally happened.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you think? You think number go up? You think number go down? You think number go up soon or later?
I think we breached 48. We're going up. So right now it's fighting, which is very interesting, right?
Yeah.
I think they're holding at 46 to 47 for the time being, but it's going to go up 51 to 53. I say in about a week or two.
Yeah, if it breaches 53, then, we talk about this. I know you have some data on your end, but for me, if it breaches 53, then it's going to want to, it's going to head to 58 or not, right? Like
Right.
usually once you pop past that 53, then it's probably going to want to head up towards 60, and 58 is the next hurdle. But I can tell you, looking at the chart right here, just looking at pure price action. Yeah, there's an indicator on the screen, but I'm really looking at price action here. And it's price broke above this month-long consolidation that you saw from the early December all the way through early January, right? Now we had the fake news on this crazy looking wick right here. Right. So that was when the story that we're told, and I mean this very politely, is that the the SEC's X profile, X as in, Twitter. So they're saying that their X was hacked, right? Well, it turns out that they don't have 2FA. So that now, I'm gonna tell you, a government agency is required to have operational security, aka cybersecurity. So why they wouldn't have a 2FA, a simple 2FA on one of the most public possible accounts. That escapes me. My freaking 12-year-old cousin knows to use 2FA. These are the people who lead our country who don't have 2FA on their Twitter account. And when you have something like this happen, millions and millions and millions of dollars are lost. That's a big deal. So anyway, somebody announced that the ETF was approved 2 days ago, caused wild price action. Lots of people lost tons of money. I'm sure somebody made a bunch of money. And then yesterday it actually was announced, and a similar candle you can see right here at about 2 p.m. Actually, I think it was a little bit later. That's on the 2 to 7 p.m. candle. So let's roll back to actually get the timing on that. Looks to me like it was about 4 p.m. when that got announced. That would be 6 p.m. EST, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I was actually I was in the middle of doing a bunch of stuff when the ETF got announced. It would not surprise me if it was actually closer to, say, maybe like 4 p.m. EST. But whatever the case, price went from roughly 45,000 to 48,000 very quickly, within like an hour and a half. It was a big move, just like the day before. But the day before, I think it was like, it was everybody went off half cocked because it was the first big announcement, right? So the second one, I think people were a little bit more cautious and not quite as excited because they got their jitters out the day before. And all these things, as far as I'm concerned, are not really an accident, but we're not going to go there. Let's see here. All right. So all of that said, yeah, looking at this is a consolidation above a prior consolidation. So basically a range is being built. Now I can tell you the last I looked at the higher time frames, and I'm going to put a bunch of crazy stuff on the chart right now. Don't get scared. A lot of this is on here for testing. I'm not even using it. So it's not like my algorithm is that complex. Okay. But I can tell you the high time frame is bullish. This sucker, it would not surprise me to see this in the next few hours pop up and start to try to play towards 48. Will it go past 48? Maybe not. Will it break up? Maybe not. It might just continue to consolidate above the prior consolidation. So say it looks like it wants to form a range, say from like 44,500-ish up to maybe this kind of 47 and a half. It might form a range there for a little while. We're just going to see. At the moment is at the top of what looks like a range to me. So I probably wouldn't go short because I don't short the top of ranges, right? I mean, forgive me. I only would go short, I meant to say. I don't long the top of ranges. And these wicks up here have me kind of, a little. This line up here was a prior liquidity node. So I'm going to take care of that because that's been hit already. So this range, it kind of looks like this is the range, and we just have these wild wicks from these announcements. Current deviation today. So we'll see it as price continues to move up and to the right, whether or not that range gets broken. But I wouldn't long just yet. But I mean, not without a little bit. I want to see price break above. I want to see price break above 48. I think 48 is an important number. This lineup here is only a liquidity node from like yesterday, so we don't know where liquidity is. We'll take a brief look at that. While I'm looking at this, V the Gorilla, do you have anything you want to say or add or ask?
No, not at the moment. I have some things to say when we get into the private room where we are.
Yeah, today's big drips day for us.
Yeah, it's an important drip day. It was a very important drip day. There's some retrospects. There's some things to look forward to. So listen, guys, if you're not in the private club, okay, the only club that's going to teach you how to make money for less than the price of a bottle of water. I don't know what the heck you're waiting for. Scan the QR code and join us. Make it happen for yourself. So yeah,
there's a QR code in the top right hand corner.
If you want to, what do you got on the screen right now? The liquidity.
Liquidity, yeah. We'll just the next little node of liquidity to the upside is 50,300. Most liquidity is to the downside right now, and what that means is that a lot of people are long. And for the most part, the way that I work with liquidity is if the charts favor a move up, I look at liquidity to the upside. If the charts favor a move down, I look at liquidity to the downside. And right now, liquidity is pretty much up here at this point, not here anymore. So, it wouldn't surprise me right now to see price make its way up to 53. And of course, what happens at 53 is going to be very important for us to look at. So that's right now what I have for Bitcoin. I'm waiting for price to go above 48 before I make any moves on any longs. And then once it goes above 48, my target's going to be 53 as long as that liquidity profile does not change during that time. So basically, if I were to map out a trade, it would look something like this, maybe. And it, of course, provided that price goes along this path, a break of 48 and a break above on, I would do the 4 hour. I'm good with that. So probably look, something like this. Something kind of like that. That'd be my next trade. That's a freebie out there for those of you who like to trade. Not investment advice. Do your own research, all that sort of thing. So, Gorilla, sir, what do you got?
I was wondering if we could take a look at Solana.
No, just kidding. Let's see. Solana USDT. Yeah, Solana is going to be. We talked about these yesterday. I think it was in the private group. Might have been public, but either way, Solana is eating Ethereum's lunch right now. Although Ethereum does look like it is gaining some steam, but I will say right now, just looking at this chart, except for this crazy wick down that was caused by a Bitcoin liquidation, I would almost want to trade a head and shoulders on this. That liquidation is going to kind of screw that up, but knowing that liquidation occurred because of Bitcoin, it's like you almost want to trade it anyway. But I wouldn't trade this unless the algos were in favor. And there's a lot of wildness. Like this is, I think the Bitcoin fake news right here. Yeah, this wick up here. So you always have to look at the reason for wicks. It's almost too late, I think, to take this trade. This would have been the trade to take about 4 or 5 hours ago, maybe. But the targets on Solana, if for somebody who might be in the trade or interested, based on head and shoulders metrics, if we were to take them, would be the first target at, say, 109, and the next target up at, I would just go ahead and do maybe like 115. The real 618 extension based on head and shoulders is 117, but then you have this structure that's right above, it's at 116, that's right below that. It's right at 117. So I would front run that 117. right? And then for those who are very confident in Solana, an extended target would be probably like, yeah, right about 123, 124, something like that. Algorithmically, you might get a decent entry. Let's see what I only just looked at this, but I haven't looked at it this morning yet. So we just looked at it yesterday, but things can change within, say, the last 10 hours. So it looks like price wants to take a little bit of a break. You can see right now it is taking a break. This is on a 30-minute chart, so this is a lower time frame. On a higher time frame, though, Solana is just bullish. It's just hot. That's all I got. I mean, look, when you have something that's this hot, it's going to push up into resistance. So you're going to have pullbacks, and the pullbacks can be rather sudden. But in the end, I think a price going towards 115 right now, and basically what this is really is breaking a giant bull flag if it goes up. So, I mean, that's, and that's what happens when you have very strong price action. You create bull flags. So it's a distribution that turns into an accumulation, right? Price goes up, people take some profit, and then you hit like a low point, and all of a sudden people start to buy again, right? So you get a little accumulation, and then price takes off. Now, is it taking off now? Could be. And a way to look at that, if you want to get all old school bold flag, right? This is kind of newbie TA, right? QA, quality assurance. This is newbie technical analysis, right? Like bull flags are kind of what new people look at. It doesn't mean they're bad. There are times when I ignore them because of certain assets and the way they act. But this one, being on such a high-ish time frame, does seem like one I might pay attention to. And I would look at Fibonacci extensions on this for some longer term targets, right? I might even do a fib inversion here too, but for the fib extensions, I would look at, because there's no historical price action this high. So you're going to be in price discovery. Once you go above this 125, you're in price discovery. There's no structure, nothing to pay attention to. So fib extensions are all you really have. 140 and 160. Those are like some decent targets as Solana breaks its high. One could enter the trade now. One could look for a pullback if it does pull back, and it may very well to say 80. I don't know. It's so bullish. I would not expect a pullback to 80. I think we've seen the lows. I think 80 got front ran. So the way I would have looked at this is let's remove some of this, right? Now we have our long-term and our short-term targets on Solana, right? So we're building, this is how a position can get built. We use all this TA to determine these short-term targets right here, and then these longer-term targets right there. And then we analyze the past to see if we think price will actually head down. Now, before price moved on this big move up, before this hard up right here, we had a peak at right about 80. 80 was where I thought price might go down to and stop. Now, on something very, very bullish, these kind of retracements, these kind of entries, everybody's looking at 80. So there's a really good chance it got front ran because everybody's looking at 80 and like, I'm going to get in before everybody else. So they get in at 84 or 85 or something like that. So technically there's a sort of a gap right here. And I don't know that we're going to see it again soon. We may very well see it again much later. I wouldn't be surprised to see 80 again in the future. But I think in the near term, if there's no major correction in crypto, I would expect price to either head up kind of in this manner, not a straight line, mind you. It might be, might be kind of like this, and then it might be like this, and then it might be kind of like, like it might hang out here for a bit and then go. It's not necessarily just going to moonshot up to that. I would really doubt that. Not to say it can't happen, but it's just not normal. Although a lot of not normal things happen in trading, but it's just not what I would statistically bet on, right? Or else price could make its way down to that 80, and then you have a nice long trade like that. So, but right now things are bullish. It would not surprise me to see this break upwards from here at all. So that's a pretty in-depth look at Solana. V, yeah, anything else you want to know about Solana?
No, looks good, man.
All
I
right,
guess we
cool.
can do,
So,
if you want to pull up gold, or if anybody have anything they want to see.
yeah, I mean, look at the. I haven't even looked at the comments yet. I don't see anybody in the comments. That's okay. We actually have a decent amount of people watching. I know I'm live over on X. We are live over on X as well. So,
yeah, Jay's asking for ADA and gold.
Okay. Well, is Jay in our private group?
Yes.
Okay, we might have time for one of those. So let's look at gold. Let's look at ADA. I think more people are going to want to see ADA, and then we're going to jam over to the private. We'll take a look at gold. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. Let's see. And I know that X has the ability now to like see to do comments, but there's only one viewer. Most everybody's watching on YouTube. If you're on YouTube right now, please like, subscribe, hook us up. We need the help on the algos. Our YouTube channel is starting to expand, getting a lot more people watching. And so the more people like and subscribe, the more we bring on, the bigger our group of people. And the bigger our group, the stronger we are, because everybody brings a lot of knowledge and resources. So with the more, the merrier. Like, subscribe, do all that. Let's look at ADA real quick. Let me actually save this real quick, because that's pretty valuable. This is Solana right here. I'm going to save this and put it in the live lab real quick. Today's ADA analysis. I'm sorry, today's Solana. Okay, cool. So we've got this cataloged over in the live lab. I might even, I'll put that on Twitter X as well later. So let's go over to ADA. And since I started this a little bit late, we'll keep this going just a little bit later. ADA looks pretty similar to Solana, just like less bullish. What you had was a move down, a bearish, what looks like a bearish retest, but last I looked at ADA, it was bullish on all time frames. So ignore don't let the gobbledygook on the screen scare you. This is just my algo. It's just an algo. And this is something that, like, I had one of them. I don't know, if you remember Sirius from the old days, our old client Sirius that was over at the Watches Trade. That's a long time ago. He was like, "Oh man, algo trading is way, way beyond me." Look, folks, an algorithm is not what you think it is. I did a whole episode on this. I did a whole show on this a few days ago. Go over to the YouTube, look at what is an algorithm, and when you do, you're going to find out an algorithm is like driving to the store is an algorithm, tying your shoes is an algorithm. Anybody who trades the old school way by using like indicators or even just price action, they're all trading based on algorithms. And so what we do is we help you build that old school algorithm, and then we put you on the path to actually turning it into something that will trade for you, right? So don't let it scare you, all right? It's a beautiful thing. You already are doing this. If you trade, you're already using algos. We're just going to help you build one that's successful. ADA was in a kind of correlative with Bitcoin, not kind of, very correlative with Bitcoin, a month-long consolidation. Okay, so I'm going to say that looks like the range to me. And it deviated below the range, I imagine, because of Bitcoin. Definitely this long spike down because of Bitcoin. It is now back in this range. So now it is high time frame bullish, but ADA doesn't have what Sol has right now. Not to say it can't have it in the future, but at the moment, Sol is sucking up so much price, excuse me, so much so much money really from Ethereum, because the meme token market, as one reason, just one. So one of the games in Ethereum is the meme game, where a lot of people will, buy these extremely speculative, usually worthless tokens, but they might go up like times 10 or times 100 and you might get rich, right? So people are just kind of playing that game. Well, the problem with that is that you have to pay high gas fees and there's high latency. So I don't know if latency is the right term, but the transaction time, right? TPS, transaction per second. So you hit a transaction on Ethereum and it can take like a second or two or three, and that can really mess up your trades, right? So Solana it's very cheap and it's very fast, and anybody can get in, and you're opening up like, look, people are putting 20, 30 bucks on these meme tokens. Just a lot of people putting 20, 30 bucks on these meme tokens. Well, with Ethereum, if your gas fees are like 20 or 30 bucks, then those people are out of the game. That can be kind of good sometimes in some ways. It's like a cover charge, but in other ways, it really kind of screws things up. So long story short, Solana is taking all that business right now from Ethereum. So that's why it's doing so well. ADA, not so much. to make this really simple on ADA, all I see right now, eventually I do see a break of this high, especially if crypto and Bitcoin continue to go up. So going above 68 cents is, I think, in the cards, and maybe not even that far from now. But for the moment, I'm expecting this to be back in this range. I'm expecting this to be a deviation on a higher time frame from this range, and price to continue to ping pong, pinball back and forth. That's what I expect for now. So with ADA, I do think we could see price head up from here. You could take a lower time frame trade and maybe look to get out before, say, 65 cents. That's possible. Do your own research, not investment advice, and then maybe short the top of that if your algo says you can. So that's really all I got for ADA. And I want to thank everybody who is watching Tech Solutions with just the hookup right there. Thank you for saying that. Tech Solutions says, I am just a paid member. I don't promote things normally, but this is a great community. Just get the private group sub. It's worth it. So there you go. Tech Solutions.
Thank you.
Hey, yeah, thanks, brother or sister, whoever you are who said that. Reveal yourself. I don't know. Okay. I don't recognize you. Reveal yourself in the private chat. We want to know who is being a good friend there. But again, yeah, our success is your success. Like, we have people on our show who have never traded before, and they're already building algorithms who are winning trades. And we're actually going to do a few shows dedicated to them in the near future. But for now, Jay, thank you, Jay. Appreciate that. Yeah, Jay's building algos like a madman. Jay's one of the people who actually had some experience coming into it, but you don't need that. We have people who've never traded before, or very little, never done anything, and they're in here building algos and being successful. So Gorilla, sir, can you go ahead and get us to the private lab and give us that Gorilla send off?
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, follow us over, scan the QR code for less than the price of a bottle of water. This is a very, very valuable community. It's a great community where you can not only learn how to trade, learn how to build the algorithms that trade on your behalf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but also a community of great support and like-minded individuals to join us. It's awesome. We're giving it away for free at $1.66 a day. It's a joke. Join us, and we'll see you there. Cowboy, take it away.
Yeah. Sorry I hate to interrupt the Gorilla's exit. The Gorilla is just one of the best, intro, exit, and many other things in life. But the QR code is there's a lot of things you're good at, bro.
Yeah.
But the QR code is in the top right-hand side of that screen. So we used to have it. We switched over to StreamYard. If you want the QR code, it's at the top right-hand side of the screen, or just go to www.algofactory.tech. So sorry to interrupt that, but I just wanted to make that clear, and we're out of here.